from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. It's a special Christmas night edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals taking on Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. Here's the punter, Rigoberto Sanchez, on to get us started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. Set to return it, here's Moore. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Arizona Cardinals offense coming out here for the first time, and you get a peek at Kyler Murray, the dangerous offensive weapon now in his third season in the National Football League.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Buying time to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 35 on second down, Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. For this defense, CD, and going up against Kyler Murray here, what's the secret to keeping him in check?
Having better athletes than him, which is really unrealistic. So I go way back in football. They used to have a coverage called the umbrella coverage with 4 defenders back deep. Now you want to try and move that umbrella up front with Kyler Murray. Kind of surround him and keep him hemmed into the pocket. Because if he breaks out, he's going to hurt your defense in a big way with his legs.
On first and 10, here's Murray. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And the Colts are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Colts offense ready to go here for the first time. And the former Philadelphia Eagle turned Indianapolis Colt Carson Wentz set to take over here at the controls in his first year in Indianapolis.
And Carson Wentz made the move from Philadelphia to Indianapolis back in mid-February. And although his last season as an Eagle, not one that he wants to remember, he's now reunited with his former offensive coordinator and current Colts head coach Frank Reich, and gets to play behind one of the best offensive lines in football. A great place to resurrect his career.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Throwing on first is Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, Wentz. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Corey Peters able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. This is caught. Touchdown! Carson Wentz connected with Michael Pittman on the touchdown there. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. First carry for James Conner. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Murray going to throw. And this will be swung out here for Conner. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Murray. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll fake it to Conner. Now Murray. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And the Colts are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On the handoff, Taylor. And just bowling over tacklers. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing is Wentz. And he's going to find Doyle in the end zone for a Colts score. Jack Doyle there to make the grab. And the Colts have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
You got it figured out by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Murray. Oh, he sheds himself free. Murray with a nice move. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Murray now on 1st down. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Wentz now on 1st down. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now a play fake. Wentz. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Wentz to throw again. And he'll find Pittman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jordan Phillips able to drop him for a loss of a couple. It's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. The pass underneath. Here's Hines with it. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they can muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get into his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 48. Badgley able to punch this one through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Moore now to return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. We get a glance at the Colts defense as they work their way back on the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Grover Stewart in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Second and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. They'll roll him out right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Again, Murray will keep it. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Offense.
That's not good enough, man.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with the flag. Murray a give. This is counter. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 2nd and 15 now. Murray. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long.
Game offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Murray. He'll get this to Connor underneath, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks, don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in a zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. And the all-pro safety Buda Baker in on the tackle. His defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, Those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go option to the short side. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Murray. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this returnable for Hines. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retake center stage. He's in a zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Tackle made there by Budda Baker.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he's going to be stopped up just short of the 1st down at the Cardinals' 43-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Wentz now on first down. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Wentz. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Murray. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 5. Murray now, caught by the tight end Ertz. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big connection on that one, 38 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing now is Murray. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. From the gun, Murray. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 18.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Took nearly the entire 1st half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw, it's Murray. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Don't do us like that.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing again, Murray. Will get this to his running back, Edmonds. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. Being chased out left. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Murray now to throw. Open man Green. He's got it. Touchdown Arizona. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Cardinals get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, a full half to be played. Extra point good by Prater, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. .30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
A final shot before half for Wentz. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
On play action, Wentz. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the third quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, if they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime, they're fortunate to retain possession.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. To throw is Wentz. flush to his right. Finding room at the 30. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now Wentz. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From the red zone now, Wentz. He finds his man, complete. That's Doyle. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Murray. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. 7 yards, the pickup there. Working with a 2nd and 3. Murray going to throw. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd and short.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Murray. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw is Murray. Finding Green complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Play fake. Murray. Sliding out of the pocket. Murray fighting. Lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
It reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The football going back over to Arizona now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Connor on 1st down, working his way forward for about 4 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Shotgun now for Murray. Dancing to his left. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Connor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down, and that's what he just did.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And there's James Conner with a run that gets everyone's attention. He joined the Arizona Cardinals after 4 years in Pittsburgh, and his best year with the Steelers, 2018, named a Pro Bowler after a 973-yard, 13-touchdown campaign. Mixed results the last couple of years as he's been in and out of the lineup, but with consistency, he can still be an effective runner.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd down, here's the option. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, Murray. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
He's brought down back at the 16.
Murray flips this forward on a jet sweep, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Throwing on first is Wentz. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They run once more with Taylor. The broken tackle, but couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Murray. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Murray. Again, he targets more. This one is complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Cardinals on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Murray. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Corey Willis. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Murray has it knocked loose, fumble. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
First and 10, Taylor now. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Taylor. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 115 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Taylor is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Colts have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Moore now on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
First down, Murray. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Ertz has it left side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing now is Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now Murray again. And one more time, here's Kirk. 7 yards, the pickup there. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Murray now. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
What was that, ref?
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Murray now on 1st down. Rolling, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. DeForest Buckner make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Second and 11. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Open man Green, he's got it. Touchdown Arizona. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Cardinals have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Time for the next drive. We'll see what tight end Jack Doyle and the rest of this offense can do. And a bounce back here for him after a slow start. And sometimes that's how it goes with tight ends. Those catches in their games, they can go in waves at that position.
And you get so locked into stopping them that you think, okay, hey, look at that. We've held them down. And the best ones, you really don't hold down for an entire game. They're going to get their catches. Your job is to keep them from being big-time catches that break you down totally.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Second down at 5. They go to the ground again with Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And down to the 16-yard line. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now a give to Taylor. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. the National Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Glendale.